Hey, what's up YouTube? I make a lot of houses. Some of them are good houses, some of them are bad houses, and some of them are in between. But a lot of them are just plain weird, and I mean weird. Stuff like this. I'm not even sure what this is. But there's more. I want to show you guys the 5 weirdest houses that I've made in the past few months. I've made a video like this before called the 5 weirdest houses of 2017, so we're going to cross that out, and we're going to have the 5 weirdest houses of 2017 Mark II. So without any further ado, let me show you the first weird house that I've made recently. So this is the first one. This is supposed to be some form of survival dome. It's supposed to be mob proof. I'm not really sure that it is. I mean, the doors aren't really protected and there's a hole in the roof. And it's really just glass, so it couldn't get blown up. But this is supposed to be a mob proof survival dome. I don't know why I made this. It's kind of really strange. I never even got tempted to make a tutorial for it, but the idea is really simple. If you imagine Sandy's treehouse from SpongeBob and that big giant dome of hers, it's a similar sort of deal. Inside here we have loads and loads of farmland, and we have places to grow trees, and we have plenty of grass, and we have a central point in the middle of the dome, which is the house. And inside the house there's 3 different levels, believe it or not. This is the middle part of the house. This is the first floor. We can climb up onto the second floor here, which is actually the top of the house, but you can even access the top of the dome as a watchtower. Honestly, I don't think it's that bad of an idea for a house. We even have a ground floor. We even have like a little underground base as well. The only problem is it looks really weird. It's a little bit strange, and I mean, I guess it's really not all that safe. It's a bit of a weird build. It's not the weirdest build I have, don't worry, we'll be getting to that. But it's definitely on the list. What do you guys think? Is this a pretty strange build? Shall we try and kick this up a notch? So the second house that I have to show you doesn't even remotely look like a house. This is the Minecraft logo that I wanted to turn into a house. Yeah, believe it or not, this thing actually has an interior. We have Minecraft, and I made it a little bit more interesting. I made each one of the letters kind of like an aspect of Minecraft, so like a stone, torch, grass block, sand, crafting table, diamond, creeper, TNT, and the last one is supposed to be a tree. That's the letter T, and you can actually access this. Yeah, it's pretty strange. I look at it now and I realize that who wants to turn the alphabet into a house other than maybe me? I don't know the purpose of this, but you can actually travel through the entire thing. We have ladders, we have floors everywhere. That's also, yeah, that's right, guys. That you can access pretty much every single part of the letter except on the I. You can't really like get down below it because it'd kind of mess it up from the outside. But on just about every single letter, there is multiple rooms which you can turn into a nice survival base. Except for the fact that this is incredibly hard to make, especially in survival. So you probably wouldn't want to do that, and it'd make a horrible house because it's incredibly cramped. What I essentially did was make pixel art into a house, and I probably should have stopped at the pixel art. I don't know why I decided to continue on. So yeah, this is a pretty weird house. It doesn't seem like something that you should that anybody should really try and have. It doesn't seem like a good idea, and it's not. It's really bad. It actually takes ages to make as well. That took a really long time. Let me show you the next one. So this next one is kind of a 2-parter. Do you guys have any sort of idea what the concept is here? I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. So this is a water slide / waterfall house. It is possibly one of the weirdest things that I've made. It looks horrible. It really doesn't look great whatsoever. But the idea was this, okay? I'll run you through it. So Here we have a set of stairs leading all the way up to the top of the water slide. You can get inside the house, up at the top of the build, and every single step of the build kind of has a platform. And the idea was going to be that to travel through the house, you needed to travel down the waterfall and onto the different terraces and platforms for the house. That was the idea, so that you kind of had secret floors, except they weren't kept a very good secret, and they were contained in like each particular floor of the house, each level of the house, and you could only access it via the waterfall. Stupid idea. I don't know why I don't know why it came across me that it'd even be remotely a good idea, but the inside of the house is kind of huge, and you guys might be able to see now kind of like this part of the house would only be accessible by reaching like this part of the waterfall, and so on and so forth, like it'd all be leveled off. I never finished this because I realized what an insane idea it was, and I'm kind of glad I did, because I look at it now and it's like, what were you even doing? What, you know, sometimes you just start something and you try and finish it just to finish it, even if you realize it's a bad idea. But this kind of comes in a two-parter, because after making this, I liked the idea, I liked the concept, and I made a refined version, which is this, and I actually do like this, although I don't think anybody else would. Let me show you. So it's the same sort of deal, right? So the idea is that you climb up some stairs or something, and you waterfall your way down onto a platform, which allows you access to a house. And in this case, it's a much better, much more clean variance of the same sort of house. And we can climb down here, and we have a bed, and we have chests and furnaces and a little library. We have all sorts of stuff. We could even access the waterfall if we wanted to. We could have a false door which led us out into the waterfall. I really kind of like the idea as kind of like a modern waterfall base. I actually think it'd work really, really nicely. The only problem, of course, is that it's just really strange looking. Like, you probably wouldn't want the stairs for the waterfall base. It's just a big cave house, essentially, is what this thing is, and it's just strange, right? It just looks weird. That doesn't look like an actual house at all. So, those are my waterfall house ideas. I actually do want to do one of these, but make it good. These aren't it, though. No way. Okay, so the fourth house that I have to show you, the fourth weirdest house that I can think of, is my chest house. This is a house pretty much mostly comprised of chests. It's a mixture of regular chests and trap chests. I actually really like how this looks. I think it looks really cool. And something else I like about it, you can't see it in the distance. Like, if you come far enough away, however many blocks this is, you can kind of see something on the ground. That's the interior. And as you approach, it kind of like materializes. It's kind of cool. And the inside, I really quite like as well, because I like the idea that we actually do have kind of like a survival-orientated house, and we have individual chests in the house that serve a purpose. Like, the chests on the outside don't really mean a thing. You can't really tell what's going to be in them before you go in them, but if you were to label them from the inside, then you can kind of have a really, really useful house that's just also a tad bit weird. I actually really like this house. I like this one a lot. And I have made a tutorial for this. This is one of the weird houses that I have actually made a tutorial for on the channel. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this is just plain strange. Making a house out of chests, probably not my brightest idea, but it definitely does look cool. Before we get to my number one weirdest house that I've made recently, a couple of honorable mentions. This awesome water slide house I love, but it's very, very strange as well. It's actually like a bouncy water slide house. The bottom bit bounces, you climb up all the way up to the top, you even bounce at the top, you can slide your way down, and a cool concept that I also like is that inside the waterfall, if we can break our way through it, we also have a house inside here. I really actually like this house a lot. It's bouncy, it's waterfall, it's fun. Another weird house that I actually really love as well includes this. This is kind of like a kid's tree house that has like a slide and it has a few different ways to get up the tree house. It's actually really cool. I love this thing, but again, just because I like it doesn't mean it's not weird. Like the inside here was supposed to be like where you'd hide a nice little survival base and you'd be able to like go down the slide and stuff, and you'd be able to climb up the platforms, and I don't know, I just really like this. I think that it's a cool addition to a house. And it's also a house, so it's kind of like a double hat. You guys get the idea. I like this thing. Okay, so I want to show you my number one weirdest house that I've made recently, but I feel as though once again it's a two-parter. We've kind of got like two houses in the top spot. Which doesn't mean I don't like these houses. I like pretty much every single one of them that I've shown you, even if it's just in concept. But again, that doesn't stop them from being weird. But this one I really like. I actually really like this. You guys know fidget cubes, right? They came a little bit before fidget spinners, I think. I mean, they're kind of cool. I have one. I actually have one. It's kind of like a cool galaxy thing. Like, it fits in your hand, and it has like buttons to push, analog sticks, it has like dials that you can push up and down. It's fun. I turned it into a house. I really like it. On the inside, you can see that it's actually pretty well furnished out with like with stuff that you'd expect to find in a house, and the interior is actually kind of like themed a little bit in line with a fidget cube. I actually really like it. It's a weird house though. Nobody would expect to find a house inside of this thing. People think it's just a statue. But it actually has most things that you need to actually survive in a survival world. Which probably makes you think, like, if this is just one of the top weirdest houses, what's the other one? Well, let me show you. Some of you guys might have guessed this. You can't have a fidget cube without a fidget spinner. This is probably the weirdest house that I've made recently. So many people suggested this, and this actually got so much attention and so many views that I'm really glad that I did make this. If nothing, just for the fun of it. This is a house. This is a red fidget spinner. Red's my favorite color, hence the red. And inside of this thing is a house. So if you come inside, come up all the way to the left-hand side here. You climb all the way up to the top. You'll find that you have a little bit of a house area in like one of the top prongs of the fidget spinner. And if we have a look on the opposite side, you'll find that you have the exact same thing on the opposite side. You actually have like a two-person survival house, or maybe just like a big survival base, all locked inside of a fidget spinner. Yeah, it had to be done. I think so. Somebody had to make it. Somebody had to do it. Why couldn't it be me? You know, if concrete was released at the time, which it wasn't, by the way, I would have made it out of red concrete. I think that would look really cool. But oh well, what can you do? That's the last of my weird houses, guys. Let me go and stand in front of a normal house just so that we can kind of like cleanse our mind of this stuff whilst I say the outro. You know, I'm starting to realize that even my normal houses are just plain weird, so we're gonna deal with the creative cube house. This video has been fun to make. I've really enjoyed making this. I like going back and revisiting some weird builds because I kind of forget about them. I kind of put them out of my mind. Once I've decided a house isn't going to be on the channel, I kind of just forget that it exists. We've probably went back like 2 months in time from all of the buildings. And like I said, it's kind of been a cool trip down memory lane, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. I'm sure that I'll be making another one of these in the future. There's always no end to weird builds, especially on this channel. I'll be making something, trust me. I'll be making something strange that's worth making a video about. I might also do like my 5 favorite builds, like my 5 favorite builds. Instead of just weird stuff, I might make a 5 favorite builds video. What do you guys think about that? Well, anyway, if you enjoyed this video, if you have enjoyed it, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Maybe subscribe if you want to see some more stuff. If you do want to see maybe that video that I was talking about where I find 5 builds I actually really like that I'm actually proud of, maybe leave a comment down below, let me know. If you want to see any of the houses that I've actually made a tutorial for, so maybe some of the waterfall houses, not the waterfall houses, some of the like water slide houses for instance, and like the fidget cube, fidget spinner, I'll leave that in the card system in the description below, and incidentally that is where you can also find a lot of my other content too. But that's pretty much everything, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.